What's up YouTube, Shadow here, and I'm bringing you the next weapon showcase for Dark Souls 2. This time we're looking at the Drakeblood Greatsword. Now I have it +5, that's the size you get. 216 for base physical attack, 71 for magic, and you can see 61 and 65 for the scaling. Added on to the weapon, so not bad. You need 20 strength and 18 dex to use it. It has E scaling and strength, A and dex, and a C in magic. Now I put magic infusion on it because that's what gave the highest attack, but you don't have to put that on it. You can put on lightning, dark, or fire, or anything, and it would give C scalings for any of those you chose. So my level's 158, as you see, 25 strength, 25 dex, and all that. Ring of Blades, just normal Ring of Blades gives me a little boost extra damage for when in my fight. So we're about to get into PvP, so I will see you there. Okay guys, so to start off, I just wanted to say something real quick before we get into the weapon showcase. I know that when I try to record audio in my editing software over the video, it gets like a staticky sound, sometimes like real low static sound pops up. If that's happening, I'm sorry. I know it's happened in my other videos, but I'm going to be upgrading to a blue snowball or a blue yeti or some type of acting mic that'll sound a whole hell of a lot better. But back to the weapon showcase. Drakeblood Sword does really good damage. And for it's not easy to use, but it's not hard to use. But I'll get into that in a minute. So first fight's done, pretty easy. Alright guys, so now we're in the Blue Sentinel arena, and we're about to fight. I always add the crystal magic sort of spell to my weapon, but you don't have to if you don't want. It just gives me a little extra attack. But it's not like dramatic. It's not going to dramatically change the weapon. But anyway, now like I said, this weapon is very similar to the Drakeblood Greatsword, especially two-handed. It has the same R1 attack, but it does have a different R2, I believe. So if you use just the Greatswords, not Ultra Greatswords and not regular straight swords, but if you use the Greatsword class weapons, it should feel very like similar to the other Greatswords. So in that case, it's going to be easier to use for you. But if you're a person who hasn't used like great swords and don't really use them, it's gonna take a minute to like play with it and learn its attacks and get used to it. But when you do, it's pretty easy. So right here, we're just kind of like staying a good distance away from each other. I try to get a couple hits in. And something I forgot to mention, this weapon already comes with, it's a DLC Grey Sword. You find it in the Crown of the Sunken King DLC, and it comes with lightning and magic already on it. So if you, for pure mages, I wouldn't recommend using this because you would have to get your strength and your dex up and all that. For mages who aren't just pure mage, who do use a weapon and put some of their level stats up in strength and dex, I would recommend it. And I'd also recommend this weapon to faith builds who put their points into skill, dexterity, and faith. And I know that's actually pretty common. A lot of people like to do that. So I feel like this would be a good faith build weapon. With faith builds, mage builds, I'm not so sure, but faith builds and strength builds is a pretty nice to have. So keep that in mind. This fight's about to end here in a minute. You see, it staggers really well, and that's the end of that fight. So we're gonna get into the next one. Alright, next fight. Now this, I remember this guy, he has a poison build, so I didn't actually realize it until about halfway through the fight, and I started seeing that poison mirror and I had to back out. But and something I want to say as well is that that damage was pretty insane. But what I want to say as well is that these fights are a little longer because using great swords, you don't want to be really like purely aggressive. You want to be a little more defensive. You want to wait till you get your opening when your opportunity opens up and then hit. And it's not like the straight sword, like the fume sword when I was being all aggressive. You don't want to do that necessarily. We're about to get the next fight. Alright, here we go. X-Man Boy 2000. So I'm going to put my Crystal Magic Weapons spell on there. Give a bow. This one's pretty quick. He's using a washing pole, looks like. Actually, that might just be Duchi Katana. My bad. I don't know. Look, no, that's a little too long. I can't tell from this screen, but yeah, it seems like the washing pole. But yeah, that's not bad. You can see it does really well damage. And our next challenger. But there's 2 fights left, so I guess to round up this weapon showcase, basically magic or lightning added onto the weapon infusion is probably what's recommended for this, since it already has it and you can just boost its stats that way and get a little more damage out of it. Also, it's not a aggressive type of weapon, it's more of a defensive, like you wait till your opportunity opens up and then strike. You don't want to be purely aggressive or you can just get smashed that way and get destroyed. And for people who are new to great swords, it might take a little bit to get used to. But people who have used great swords before shouldn't have a problem with this weapon at all. It's very similar and pretty easy to use for me because I am used to great swords. Keep in mind, it's not an ultra great sword. Like I said, it's not a straight sword. It's a great sword. It's in between straight sword and ultra great sword. So, really nice weapon. I really like it. The last fight's about to come up after he dies, so just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. And if you liked this video, remember, leave a like or let me know down in comments if you liked it and what you liked about it. And subscribe for daily Bloodborne and Dark Souls content. So this is the last fight, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Bloodborne and Dark Souls video.